Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Okay, so you're flipping through the records at the thrift store or at an antique store and you come across this and you're like, oh cool, whales, whatever. My friends, this is a treasure in the rough for multiple reasons, which we'll talk about. Most notably, I'm not going to show you the back yet. What do Telefunken and Neumann, two major players in the audio space, have to do with this record? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. So what do we have here? We have Whales Alive, blah, 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 blah. If you think, as soon as you hear of a whale record, if you're like me, you're thinking of the little flexi disc that came in the mid-'80s and the National Geographics. It was a novelty even back then to play that, and I need to get a hold of that. I was just talking to Fardamark about this the other day. I'm like, do you have that thing? And he's like, no, I don't have it either. Although, ironically, he has my maybe not so ultra rare Dave Brubeck record and a number of other people. So it's rare from a historical. Okay, you don't see it every day. Okay, come on. But that's what I think of when I see whales. I'm like, that's cool. That's awesome. It reminds me of a funny story. So back in 2012, my wife sold some property and took the whole family on a trip to Hawaii because those are very expensive. So you don't get to do them very often if you're like most people. So it had been a dream of hers for years to go to Hawaii. So we went there. We went on a whale tour. You got to do, if you're going to do it big. So we went on a charter, not a private charter, but on a whale tour boat. And we're going to go out looking for whales because it was the 2 times of the year that the blue whales, not blue whales, humpback whales are in that region. They come down there to have their children. And then they go up to Alaska and then back down again every 6 months. Well, when we were out there looking, they're like, we can't guarantee you're going to find any, obviously. And but we have some microphones under the boat, and they start, turning it on. They're like, we have whales in the area, and it sounds just like that record. It's like very typical whale sounds. And my wife's like totally not buying it. She's like, it's so fake. I'm like, I think it's real. I think it's real because it sounded exactly like the typical whale sounds that you always hear. And then sure enough, right next to the boat, and she got an amazing picture. This whale breached right next to us. It was awesome. But I digress. So here we have this record. I picked it up because it sounded kind of cool. And, I'm looking at it and I say, wait a minute, Leonard Nimoy. What do you think of when you think of whales and Leonard Nimoy? Well, you think of this, of course, because Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, is the Star Trek movie that even non-Star Trek people like. This is the one with the whales in it. And it's a great movie, by the way. Just going to go ahead and show this since I got it out. I got the 2-disc set, DVD set. And it's a fantastic movie. I remember as a kid seeing this and being very emotional about it and being very, I really bought into the whole story. Watching it now as an adult, I'm like, it's not quite as, awe-inspiring. It's still a great movie. But I love it. It's a great, great film. So yes, there is a tie-in here, more so than just Leonard Nimoy. So the public, this was a major hit. This, like I said, even non-Star Trek people loved this movie. And do yourself a favor, if you haven't seen it, get this movie or watch it. You won't be disappointed. If you've never watched Star Trek anything in your entire life, this is a great gateway into the Star Wars or Star Trek world. Oops. Anyway, so this is not an accident that you've got a whale record with Leonard Nimoy. So on the back, if we look down here, what do we see? Oh, 1987. Interesting timing because this movie came out in 1986. So it's clearly, playing off of it. Also, no surprise at the track 4 there, The Voyage Home. Just saying, right? Okay, so no shame on, capitalizing on a popular thing. But that's, partially what this is. Now, that being said, this is super cool in its own right. Reading through it, it benefits the Nature Conservatory. This is a really cool pressing because it's got this gold stamp, loaned for promotion only, not for sale. Always cool when you come across that stuff. There's a lot to read here, which I'm not going to go into detail, but suffice to say, everybody that was involved in this project was really passionate about getting this information out there. And it's apparently spoken word and music with whale sounds. All right. So that's cool in and of itself. However, this story gets deeper. So when I pulled the record out, again, I haven't touched this since we got it a couple weeks ago. I paid like $1 for it. Gorgeous, gorgeous record. Looks like it's never been played. I mean, a beautiful, beautiful record. Now, when I was looking at the lead out groove, the run out groove, let's see if I can rotate it here. What do we find here? Oh, that's interesting. DMM Master Disc. What could that mean? My friends, we have a pressing from a DMM or direct metal mastering record. What does that mean? So, normally, a master disc for a record release is is cut with a lathe, which is like a reverse record player, into a lacquer disc. And the lacquer is the material that is used for that process. And then from there, they electroplate it with nickel and all kinds of stuff. And then from there, they make stampers and, matrices and all kinds of stuff. However, there's an alternate method that has superior sonic capabilities that has been done by the Telefunken and Neumann people, where it cuts the master directly into a copper-plated metal disc. So it eliminates a lot of sonic imperfections of the lacquer method, including echoing on, when you get that sound coming from, next track coming around, kind of, whatever you call it. You know what I mean? Where you hear the loud drum hit before it happens because it's impressing on the groove wall. But anyway, I digress. This just sounds better. That's the idea. So to find a DMM disc was really exciting. That being said, we're going to play it on a portable, so we probably won't realize the sonic, improvements that will be had by a disc such as this. This is, I don't want to downplay this, though. This is a super cool record player. This is the Danzett Jr., Crosley Danzett Jr. This is the remake inspired by the famous record player of the 1950s. In the UK, this was very popular, the Danzett record player. After last night's show, which has the same mechanism, I'm making sure that this tone arm is fully out there. And while we're here, let's go ahead and check tracking again real quick. I did splurge. I know it's a splurge. And you're going to be like, what? And bought a digital scale. I don't have it yet. Should have it Monday. And I thought we'd have some fun with that. But in the meantime, we're going to be stuck with our old... Some people swear by the analog gauge. They do. They say, well, this is... Okay, let's not do that. They swear by it. They say, no, this is actually better. Some people say, I don't trust Chinese, digital gauges. You have to get the Japanese ones. And it's so, like everything in this hobby, everything is so, what's the word? Speculative, but you know what I mean? Like anybody could have a strong opinion on this. Cool. So this is tracking at 3.5, 3.6, and it floats right there. So 3.75 grams. That's a number I can live with. So we're not going to damage anything with this. And I really wouldn't want to damage a record that is a DMM master disc because you don't come across this. So that being said, let us go and listen to this record. And I'm going to go ahead and take off some of the surface stuff. Even though it's completely clean, it's probably been sitting for 30 years in a, collecting a little bit of dust, even if it's in its sleeve. But here we go. Let's listen to a little of this record. Let's listen to the next track. I can't wait to hear this on the really nice setup. Speaking of nice setup, as an aside here, I put my this is my best cartridge. This is my Grado Gold Prestige 2. They have the Series 3 out now. This is about a $260 cartridge though. So I have wired it into this head shell off of an LP120, and I'm going to try this out on the LP7. I would love to listen to this record, a DMM disc, with a nice cartridge, with the nice preamp and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and skip forward here. This one's a quiet one. And we'll just keep skipping through. I want to find the part with Nimoy, so let's go ahead and flip the record. And I think it's the last track on here. Nimoy seems to lend credibility to anything, so this will be cool. It's got to be on here somewhere. Yeah, we really should have listened to this on the.
Watch the mast.
Oh, there we go.
Sweeping across vast fields of star. Infinite landlessness. I would not trade this hour for anything I know. Rock me gently, ocean. I'm coming home. A long, dark wire winds and coils down through the midnight ship.
If you are, this is another, I'm really going off on tangents tonight, but if you are, by any strange chance, a Star Trek fan, as am I, and you have either an Android phone or an iOS device, there is an app called Hoopla, Hoopla. And basically what it is it's a library app for your phone. And you can, if you have a library card for your local library, obviously this is for folks in the US, you can enter that number and check out ebooks, audiobooks, music, all for free, just like you would, lending, like you would in the library. And it's a fantastic resource. And if you don't have a library card, a lot of the libraries will allow you to just log in and get a digital card online without having to go into the place. So it's great to have during times like these. Anyway, if you are a Star Trek fan, the local library systems here in the Denver area, and that you can access all of the Denver Metro stuff, has all of these Star Trek audiobooks, and a lot of them are read by actors from the original series. Like Leonard Nimoy does a bunch of them, and a lot of the main characters in there appear as narrators, which is fantastic with the music, the sound effects. It's fantastic stuff. Okay, this record is cool, and I really want to listen to it. This is like an audiophile kind of thing. Put the headphones on. You're not going to be, working while you're listening to this. You're going to be wanting, unadulterated, attention to be spent to this record with the headphones and no distractions. So I definitely want to spend some time listening to it. As I researched this record, I was getting more and more excited because, we found out, the tie into Star Trek, you got Nimoy involved, and then the DMM aspect of it as well. Super cool. So anyway, do you guys have this record? Have you heard it before? Do you have any DMM records? I would like to find some more. It sounds like it's quite a treat for the ear. So I'm excited to experience this on the other system. But it was a good introductory to this record on this system. I really enjoy the Danzette. It's great. And I'm glad this one only tracks at like 3.5 grams. That's a nice... And it's weird because it's the exact same mechanism. Made by the same company and everything. I don't get it. But still need to investigate that one a little.